AI is now making its impact in the faith community. More and more churches are tapping into artificial intelligence to speak the word of God, giving folks another way to pray. And they're even using it to answer questions from the divine. This is the latest effort to pull parishioners back into the church after facing a decade-long of declining numbers. Joining me now is founder of the Hope Group, that's Reverend Christopher Hope. Reverend, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Tell me a little bit about what this really is, why you think it's needed, and whether or not you think the American faith will even want it.
Good morning. Yes, so AI is powerful, but it cannot replace humanity. The goal is to use AI to strengthen community, not to essentially weaken it. Faith communities now, we're seeing people stressed, we're seeing them isolated, and ultimately more spiritually hungry. And AI feels like a quick, non-judgmental, and always available option. And so faith communities are wrestling with this issue through the Hope Group, which is my organization. We serve municipalities, but also faith communities, and how to ethically adopt AI in ways that can support them. But I think in the midst of all of the challenges that we're seeing and all of this disruption, ultimately people are looking for comfort. Human beings are looking for comfort, and a chatbot can imitate the words of Jesus. But I want to stress that it can't imitate the heart of Jesus. A chatbot can talk like Jesus, but it can't love like Jesus.
You talk about ethical AI. Can you help me understand that? Because there's a way to do it right, I'm sure, and there's a way to do it wrong. Have you heard of instances in which AI is being used improperly when discussing religious matters with practicing religions across our country and world?
Yeah, more and more what you're seeing now, you're seeing chatbots that are being developed. For example, the Text with Jesus chatbot and other chatbots that are of the like. And sometimes they're being advertised or promoted in certain spaces as being able to replace the voice of God. And I think there's a danger, a great danger in that. Ethical AI is always about enhancing human creativity. It's not about replacing it. It's about enhancing human productivity, not about replacing it. And so many individuals such as Senator Ed Markey, myself, are working on a civil rights act called the AI Civil Rights Act that, if passed, it would really help shift the national conversation in the environment around how AI is being implemented across the board, how companies and definitely startups are developing the technology, and making sure that humanity is at the center and focus of how this technology is being developed. We see the benefits of AI and its ability to not only support municipalities, organizations, companies, but also the church. It could provide accessibility for disabled members, translation services for multilingual families, helping small churches run with fewer staff through automation and AI agents, which are skills that through the Hope Group we teach many communities, reaching youth to live online, who live online, because often young adults are online. Right. I think when used wisely, AI can help faith communities and the like love people better. And that's really at the tool of what AI could be. It's a force multiplier and a tool to engage and to enhance communications.
Yeah, I think my major concern would be, like, in particular with features that are like talk with Jesus, so to speak. You know, there's somebody out there that's a programmer that is actually behind this AI and that is essentially coming up with the prompts and the discussions and the suggestions perhaps that Jesus is making. And I would be concerned that that person is flexing too much authority on perhaps minds that aren't really wise to what AI is and potentially leading these people astray.
There's risk, and there's risk inherent, which is why the AI Civil Rights Act and the work that Senator Ed Markey and others and myself are organizing around. Part of that risk is misinformation. As we're seeing with some of the chatbots that are focused on mental health, unfortunately, there have been cases that have come up where individuals have committed suicide. You should really be seeking spiritual support and mental support from professionals, people that have been trained years and years of doing the work. AI can assist faith. It should never impersonate faith.
Right. It should be supplementary, not primary. Okay, that's
Absolutely.
Reverend Christopher Hope. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.